Hello everyone, Shinto Bean here playing some more Warhammer combat cards, continuing this max level PvP event where we have 400 points available. There's just so many fun decks that it could be using, but for this one I want to show you one of my personal favorites using Zodgrod Wartsnaga, who is able to buff the attack stats of his bodyguards whenever a card with 10 or less cost is destroyed. Now, if you want to use the maximum 400 points, it's a bit tricky. At least for the cards in my collection, I can only include 2 of those cards, and of course they are the Endless ones, the Gretchen and the Orc Boy. The problem is, with 8 bodyguards total, it's not guaranteed that you'll be able to get those out on the first turn, which is what you ideally want to do in order to get the buffs early on. But it's still, I think, a pretty fun deck to play, and we'll see how it works out. Just to go through the bodyguards, we got the new Gorkonaut with the shield. We've got this Kill Rig, which is just absolutely insane in the amount of damage it can deal. We've got the big Mecha Dread with shield and big game hunter. The Bone Breaker with Furious Charge and Melee Scout. The Deathkiller Wartrike with a big Furious Charge and Melee Scout as well. And then the Squigoth, which has Berserk and Deathblow. So all kinds of dual trait cards. These guys are pretty insane. Zodgrod himself has Inspiring Presence and Outflank, so he can even provide even more of a buff once he hits the field at the end of the battle. But let's go ahead and deploy, and we'll see how these Orc Boys do. Alright, so we're up against the Tau. Darkstrider is the warlord we're facing, and he is quite strong. And so you can see right off the bat, we don't have any of those cheap cards on the field. I'm going to deploy the Squigoth, turn 1. I'm not sure if this is the best idea. The Squigoth actually stands to gain the least amount of stats from the buff, though, because it actually has pretty low stats to begin with. Alright, they're just bringing out the big guns right at the beginning. We got the Riptide Battlesuit that's going to be dealing a huge amount of damage. Now we do have a Gretchen. We do have to be kind of careful here, though, because, of course, they can counter-deploy. Okay, but they're bringing out a tank here. This is the new Hammerhead gunship with precision shot. Yeah, I guess we'll go like this. We'll drop the Mecha Dread. It's got 4 shields, so each one can block 209 damage. So yeah, that'll completely deflect the precision shot, should he decide to keep that in that lane. Okay, wow, this is an interesting choice. I'm not sure if this guy knows what he's doing, because yeah, you don't really want to be intentionally killing the Gretchen, and saving like the weakest card for the Squigoth. We'll see where this goes, though. We do get the first turn. Let's see, what can this thing do? 60 melee. Yeah, we'll just go with a melee attack here. Mecha Dread, dealing 45% more damage, so 164 to the gunship. And yeah, that actually worked out really well. The Gretchen knocked out one of the shields on the Riptide. It has just one more. I can only imagine that they would go ranged. I am curious, though. I wonder how many taunt cards this guy has in his deck. Maybe he doesn't have any. Maybe they're just like the weakest battle suits or whatever. Because with 400 points, you know, you don't really have many spaces to spare for those really cheap, like, drones and whatnot. Okay, here comes the first series of ranged attacks. And we're getting the buff already from the second Gretchen. Hopefully we get another Orc Boy on the field. Eventually we do want the Squigoth in the center lane. Oh, this is perfect. This is wonderful. Alright, so we're just going to drop this Orc Boy here. He's going to take out the remaining shield on the Riptide. Unless they decide to shift things around. And we'll see what they do. Squigoth now at over 100 stats already. The thing has gotten really big really fast. Okay, they are indeed moving their guys. Oh, and there goes the Hammerhead gunship and the Riptide actually both get their attacks off. It's been so long since I've played against Darkstrider. And in fact, yeah, the thing is, with Darkstrider, the AI never actually uses the special rule intentionally, so you almost never see it go off. So it's actually kind of, it's a completely different experience playing against a Darkstrider in PvP than it is when he's controlled by the AI. Because now the thing in the middle died, so he can again shift the Riptide Battlesuit over back into the center lane, which would allow it to get a free attack in for 50% of its damage. And sure enough, there it goes. And we got the Barracuda as well. This is going to be a lot of damage, probably enough to take out the Squigoth, as well as maybe both Orc Boys. But that, if that's the case, then we're going to be dealing a pretty huge amount of damage on our next turn. Of course, the Mecha Dread will finish off this Stealth Suit, which will allow them to once again shift their units over and get some big attacks in. So, have to be kind of careful here. 241 damage from that Barracuda. Do get one last buff in, though. And here comes the Deathblow. Okay. And yeah, those are that's all the buffs we're going to be getting from this special rule of this game. So now it's just up to these guys on the field. Let's go with, I think we'll drop, I don't even know. Well, we'll just drop this over here, I guess. 353 health on the Bone Breaker, stealing 144 damage with his melee attack, and now we're getting that scout in. Tau do have a lot of outflank, so we'll see. Long Strike, okay. That's somewhat concerning. Yep, that's a lot of firepower they got here. 153, 200 damage, and then 250 with Long Strike. Wow. All right, well, 250. What do we want to do? I guess we better drop that Gorkanaut, I think. Make use of those shields. And I suppose we don't really want to go ranged into this. A lot of the cards I have do have a decent ranged attack, but yeah, going ranged against the Tau here, maybe not the best move. Got a 15% boost to the melee, so let's go ahead and hit him pretty hard here. The Bone Breaker actually breaking apart that Barracuda. Wow, that's a lot of damage. That was pretty huge. And now they can deploy something and either attack with Long Strike or the Riptide. I think the Riptide would be the better choice in this scenario because Gorkanaut's... Well, never mind. There's one of the drones, though. So yeah, Long Strike's attack just gets absorbed by the Gorkanaut's shield. Definitely a really good trait for the Gorkanaut. That trait changed this season, making a huge difference. Bone Breaker, though, is about to get blasted apart, I think, as is the Mecha Dread. So we'll be down to our last two bodyguards. And they're actually debuffing... Well, debuffing the range was already fully debuffed. There's the counterattack from the Gorkanaut. Taking out the drone, which means they get one more series of attacks in. We have to be very careful here, I think. I will drop... Yeah, we'll drop our two bodyguards, obviously, but I think both of these attacks will go into the Gorkanaut, which still has two shields, so we're actually just fine. And I think we do want to keep the Gorkanaut in the center lane. Oh, wow. The Ravarna Battlesuit. I forgot that that thing existed. Well, that's kind of scary, actually. In fact, yeah, that thing dealing 174 big game hunter damage. Is it going to be able to kill this guy? I feel like it will actually kill him, so... how much does this guy do? 179? Okay, I think we do want to take out Long Strike with the Furious Charge here. Probably a good choice. This thing dealing over 100 damage with all the... Yeah, good. Wow! Varna Battlesuit actually did 305 damage. It would have been 3 damage away from killing this Wartrike. But yeah, we can go with the full power of these boosted melee attacks here on these bodyguards. Pretty insane amount of damage there. And then they can move the Ravarna Battlesuit one last time when Darkstrider deploys. In fact, I think he could actually take out... Yeah, he could take out the Gorkanaut just by deploying his Warlord. And there it goes. We'll see how much damage they do with this series of attacks. I think they can take out the Wartrike as well. So pretty impressive amount of damage here from the Tau. Of course, the kill rig is pretty insane. We'll see if this guy decides to go through with the attack here. I'm hoping he doesn't surrender because I actually want to let him win. Again, I already got all my wins. Don't need this one. Just wanted to see what these Orks can do. Okay, there we go. Here comes the ranged attack. 110 from Darkstrider, not too shabby. That kill rig hitting back for 134. That Wartrike just gets blasted into oblivion. Yeah, this thing is pretty crazy. The kill rig, unfortunately, doesn't actually deal... Well, it doesn't have enough health, though, to survive for very long. It's just sort of a glass cannon. It's funny when you say, like, something with 300 health is a glass cannon, but that's really what it is when it comes to max level. These max level events. So you can see here, definitely have enough damage to win. But it was a good game. I'm going to just give this guy the victory. Thank you for playing. So yeah, not a bad deck with Darkstrider here. Starting tomorrow, we have a Tyranid campaign, and we just got an influx of Tyranid models. I will go through all of them in the next video, but right here you can see a preview. The derpy old Biovore was replaced by this amazing new model, and I am super excited to show off these Tyranids, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.